Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and those of you with nothing better to do with an internet connection, Paul Johnson and Shane Hoopfer are proud to present the Total Stickcast. Buckle up and enjoy the unscripted, unadulterated neurosis.
Welcome to the Total Stickcast. We're two guys who don't get out too much, just babble about crap. My name's Paul Johnson. I'm a freelance writer, author, vlogger, and creator of the Total Stick Show, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. You can head on over to everythingpaul.net to get an eyeful of all of that, and with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, former athlete, bus driver, and man with the golden voice. It's Shane fucking Hoopfer, man!
Ooh, I like that one.
I know, right?
You can also add voice actor now officially.
Yeah, you're the man with the golden voice.
No, I mean legitimate voice actor. You guys know I posted the work I did for footballfigure.net on the Facebook page, so you can check that out. Yep. I've done 3 more projects. You
can see what Shane's busy doing when he's not here.
Yeah, I've done 3 more voice projects.
Check that out. Have you posted the other 3?
Nope.
No, okay, I wasn't sure.
The same thing you do. I'm not going to advertise anything until it's out.
Yeah, no, makes sense. I just wanted to know if they were done, if it was, talk about a time yet or not. Okay, cool.
I've done my part.
Ah, okay, you're just waiting for them to all go through production, basically.
It's kind of like a grandpa episode. You know, I've done my part a long time ago.
Now you just sit back and wait, eh?
Yeah, you know, I was hoping I might get to see it before I go into surgery, but...
Yeah, no, it's unlikely. I was hoping I'd get to see... I was hoping I'd get to see the second episode of the Stick Show before you went into surgery, and that didn't happen.
You notice, the desperate pleading tone there. Boy, I'd love to see that before I undergo life-threatening surgery. Fuck you.
Well, I mean, hey, there's only so much I can do, and this way it gives you an excuse to live. There you go.
I have lots of excuses to live. I'm not sure what they are, but I'm sure they're there. Family.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
I'll edit that so it doesn't sound like you searched for the answer.
Nah, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Nobody listens to this anyway.
There we go. Well,
at least nobody in my family.
I was about to say nobody in your
that's not true.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so. You got a brother who listens, don't you?
Yes, he's listened to every episode.
That's awesome. I think we've said this before many times. Shout out to Shane's brother, but I think we've done that already. I don't think that.
And we want to shout out Sweden.
Oh yeah, shout out Sweden.
Whoever that dude is has downloaded every episode.
Who continues to listen to us.
Send us a message on Facebook, would you, or email to totalstickshow@gmail.com. I would like to give this guy a legitimate shout out.
Yeah, I want to know more about you. Hey, do you want to come on the show? Do you speak English? I'm assuming you do because you listen to our show, so...
well, maybe it's just background noise.
Yeah, maybe it's just the rhythm of her voice helps his kids sleep or something.
Yeah.
Are we assuming this is a guy, every single sentence? I guess we have no idea who this is, do we?
Not the slightest. Plus, I think we got a couple of UK listeners.
If it's a Swedish lady who's been listening to us, she's probably not going to reach out to us now.
Yeah, that's all right. If you've been listening to us for 20 episodes now, you know I'm an asshole.
Yeah, you're probably not easily... You probably don't care if we just called you a guy, yeah?
I'm assuming.
No, that's probably fair. That's probably fair.
If there's a female who puts up with our shit for 20 episodes, somebody marry that woman.
Quickly, either because she's a keeper or because somebody should be keeping an eye on her closely.
No, that's a keeper. If you can tolerate us for 20 episodes, you can tolerate anything.
Yeah, true that. Okay, fair enough. Just because one person writes in and goes, you know what you guys need? More ape calls at the 30-minute mark. Doesn't mean I'm going to put it in the show, okay? But, you know.
Oh, you know what? I actually feel bad about something.
Not enough ape calls?
No.
Okay.
I want to give a shout-out to Austin. I don't remember what the hell his last name is because I'm not paying that much attention, but he actually interacts with us. I have no idea who he is. Probably a friend of yours. But
Austin?
Yeah, the guy posts, likes everything we do, even posts it on Facebook.
Oh, you were talking about Ashton.
Ashton.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever.
At first, I didn't know if we had a bunch of listens from Texas or something. Like, I was like, what's the shout out to Austin? And I thought you know people in the South, so maybe this has something to do with
I do,
Like,
yeah.
I didn't have a clue where the hell this was going. Okay, yeah, no, Ashton's the guy you're talking about. Shout out to Ashton, yeah.
Do you know Ashton?
Yeah, I know Ashton.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it really doesn't matter.
Known Ashton for about 15 years, so yeah, he's biased. Yeah.
So Ashton, I want you to point out who's your favorite. Is it Paul or is it Shane?
Sure, go ahead. I'm curious to see where this is gonna go.
Well, because I'm pretty confident your dad likes me more.
Yeah, I don't know. When I think about, like, political views, things you've said
No,
on the
just
show,
in general.
things like that, outlooks on things, I feel like the people that we've appealed to on the show probably will agree with you more, statistically.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
I think so.
I think if you and my father were in a room, you'd agree on more things than...
I think your dad and I would have a field day.
I think so. And
I haven't drank for a long time, but that might be an excuse to get a case of beer, sit down, kick back and relax for an evening and shoot the shit about Paul.
Well, he doesn't drink either anyway, so you don't even need a
Well,
case of beer.
that's fine, so we can get a case of Coke and...
There we go.
And maybe a bag of Coke. No, I would not recommend anything like that. Kids don't do drugs.
You're expecting a conversation about me to be super stressful. You're trying to get a narcotic involved in this in some way.
I don't need to try to get you involved with a narcotic.
You're like, if I can't have liquor, I'm just upping it all the way to Coke. Just screw everything in between, not even a joint. I just get me Coke. That's
Yeah, well, if you're going to do it right.
Well,
so that's the open invitation to Paul's dad.
Yeah, sure, there you go. Shane wants to meet you.
Yeah, and we don't have to have Paul anywhere around this.
I'd be curious. You two I should allow you to hijack the podcast for an episode and see what happens if the two of you...
I don't think you'd be happy.
Host the podcast for a day. I highly doubt it. That's why I refer to it as a hijacking and not like that. It probably wouldn't be my cup of tea. It probably wouldn't be a show I would listen to. I have a feeling.
So you mean it might do well?
Well, I was looking at the ratings this morning, and there's a lot of. I constantly hear the flapping of your gums about the why do I want to say Godfather? The grandpa skit.
Grandpa.
So I often hear a lot of stuff about that and how you think that's like the best episode. And while I was going through YouTube today, I realized that it is actually our worst rated episode, which doesn't necessarily surprise me because it's such a specific... That's what I've been trying to say about it.
I think it's higher viewed on Facebook.
It's our worst one, and the pilot is still the leading thing that we've put out.
Well, the pilot's been out there 6 years.
Hey, I know, but if podcast... Not literally 6 years, but yes, it feels that way. If Grandpa was so good, though, it would have easily surpassed it.
But I believe Grandpa leads on the Facebook views, though. And it won the Facebook poll.
It won the Facebook poll by a small margin, though.
12.
I'm still writing god-awful relationship lists.
If they're paying you, God bless.
Precisely, that's what it is. So, and I'm now, I think a couple episodes ago I mentioned that I wasn't getting credited for it, and I'm now very, very relieved about that, and I'm constantly grateful for the fact that I'm not getting credited for it, because I don't want this enormous pile of crap to have my name on it, so...
Yeah, well, some of us do appreciate being acknowledged for our work.
Oh my God! I can hear the violins already.
No, we're good. But you know what I chuckled about?
Uh-huh.
So in an email with Reg, he sent me the email titled Scott instead of Shane. And the first time we put up an electric football video, my name was put up as Scott.
Really?
The first time... I believe with the Kens, your original thing, you put Scott.
Yes, I did.
As well. So that is 3 times.
That is so bizarre.
So clearly I am a Scott, and I need to change my name.
Yeah, obviously. You kind of, with the way the facial hair, you kind of look like a younger Scott Steiner. Or like a middle
I
of the road
wish
Scott Steiner,
I
'cause-
looked anywhere as good. Well, which Scott Steiner are we talking about? Because there's the Scott Steiner, the athlete back in the WCW days, and then there's Big Papa Pump that looks like he has 20 steroid needles shoved up his ass.
Yeah, well, both. That's the guy I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. Young Scott Steiner, holy shit, he was athlete, like big man.
Yeah.
But he wasn't ripped like that.
Yeah, it got stupid. It got really crazy
Jesus
stupid.
Christ.
Yeah, but he called himself Big Papa Pump in the WCW though too.
Nope, not originally.
Oh, okay, maybe not at first. No, okay.
Like
but when
you have to go back to like when the Steiner brothers were a tag team.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
The younger days, like he had his brown hair, short brown hair, and he was he was a wrestler.
Before
he was
bleached,
he was just an amateur wrestler.
Okay.
And still a big man. I mean, he's huge.
Oh yeah, dear God, man.
He's a guy I'd look in the eyes and go, "Yes, sir." Hell, I might be an inch or two taller than Scott Steiner.
But he is not a small man by any stretch of the imagination. No,
and he wasn't a small man before the steroids.
What the hell? Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just blurted out there. What the hell was his brother's name? I'm trying
Rick.
to remember it. All I could think of was The Outsiders with fucking Razor Ramon and Kevin Nash, and I was like,
"Good God!" You know what's making me sad?
His name. What's that?
I can't remember shit. I can't remember things I said 15 minutes ago. Yet you go, "Who's Scott Steiner's brother?"
Yeah.
Bang! Oh, it was Rick.
Fair enough. Yep.
How the hell and I didn't even think about it. It just, there you go.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
No, that's very fair. Shit, that's true. I didn't even think about how quickly you answered that for somebody who's having memory problems. Yeah.
Well, I've always been a wrestling fan.
Okay.
See, I'm old enough to remember Stampede Wrestling. When it was legitimately Stampede Wrestling, Stu Hart. I mean, I was a kid. I was a young kid, but you'd go to the pavilion on, I think it was Friday. And that was, and that was the thing. It was still at the end of what you'd call the territory days.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I know that guy just died, and I can't think of his name, but
Jim Neidhart.
Bret Hart. Yeah, Bret Hart is now the only remaining Hart guy now. Yeah, I remembered him too. As soon as I read his name, I was like, "Fuck, I know who that is."
No, I think Bruce is still alive.
I'm not sure about that.
But Bruce was never really big in the wrestling. He never, as a wrestler, he never, made any big jump.
Okay.
And Jim Neidhart's daughter is Natalia, who is in the WWE.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't followed anything recently enough to be...
Natty, she's a good wrestler.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a very good wrestler, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so how about we get this back on track?
Yeah, sure, why not? Hey, wrestling's not so bad. Yeah, the golden age of wrestling, though. Well, not the golden age, but just that sweet entertainment moment of the WCW.
Everybody has
WO
their...
and,
everybody... Well, the Monday Night Wars were fantastic.
Like Raw?
Well, Raw versus... what the hell was WCW's main show? Nitro.
Oh, yeah.
Back in those days when they were head-to-head, and Nitro was beating Raw in the ratings for a while, and it went back and forth. I mean, that was when, they took down the walls, and it was a little more ridiculous, but it was entertaining.
Yeah. It was. And I think it was necessary, probably, but that's probably a different conversation.
Sure.
So we asked people on Facebook today for not today, I think yesterday, for some insight, for some input as to topics that we should discuss today.
Yeah, I think somebody wanted to know about my health still. I can't know why.
The answers we got ranged from insanity to some reasonable stuff. So I think we should at least touch on almost all of it.
Okay.
So yeah, sure. Let's talk about your health, because Shane's health is generally at the top of the show, and we didn't have it there today. So let's talk about your health. Let's really talk about your health, because this is your last show before you go in. So let's open up that box and talk about it a little bit more.
Monday night I get a phone call to find out when I'm supposed to be there on Tuesday. But I'll be in there Tuesday. They'll be putting me under, shooting glue into my brain. Sounds like fun, eh?
Yeah.
I'll be under until, through the surgery, which happens on Wednesday. And in theory, I wake up after that.
Yeah, that's
and hopefully home maybe around 5 days after.
Okay.
I think they're worried about infection and stuff like that. I mean, they are sawing a chunk of my head out.
Yeah, it's best if you're in the hospital for them to keep an eye on that kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but that, and had a wonderful massage today.
Oh, that's very cool.
And for the first time, I was cupped.
You were cupped? Oh, cupping! Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, like heat cups and stuff. Like, not heat, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It's just cupping.
The rings on you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And too early to tell. I mean, it was only a couple hours ago, but...
Yeah. Nice.
But doesn't hurt.
No.
Yeah,
so Shane's going new agey on us.
No, actually, I didn't get an option.
Oh, okay.
We'd talked about it. I was like, I don't know what the big deal, but no, she was working on me. She's been my masseuse now for a few months.
Okay.
And just she's going along, and all of a sudden, cluck, there's a cup on my back. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, wow, that's sudden.
Cup on the other side. Like, oh. So I got two pretty cool circular bruises on my back.
Yeah, you're looking all Phelpsy now, or I think that's who
was
that. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of athletes. It had a fad run.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't suspect it's going to make much difference either way, but hey, it was a good massage.
Not expecting a brand new Shane out of the deal or anything.
No.
Okay. So next week we'll find out about Shane's yoga corner.
No, we won't.
Okay. Well, no, because you're not on the show next week. But
yeah, I think Terry's stepping in for me, isn't he?
Yeah, Terry will be on the show, and we will see. The deadline's closing, but we'll see if anything else. Hopefully, once Shane comes back, everybody, we'll have we'll have a little run of guests going on, hopefully, with any form of luck. Nobody's officially booked yet, but we've talked, and there's some directions we want to go in. So. Yeah.
Oh, and have we heard anything and somewhat official about the contest winners?
Nothing too official more than you know, but I guess we can talk about that for a second too. You might remember many episodes ago, I don't even know what episode it was now, we had author Dan Alatorre on the show, and he, in cooperation with us, had a contest going on during July, I believe it was. I'm trying to stop saying during this, my bad. During July, and he has 3 winners for it, and the third place winner got to come on our show and tell us all about their project and what was that and the other thing.
Talk about a great plan to put something on with absolutely no cost to yourself.
Yeah, right. So any of the event that I heard from him about a week ago or so, and we are now actually getting 2 third place winners who will be on our show. So we will have some authors coming up here in September, and possibly some other stuff too. So that's actually something you can give your input on if you check out.
Did you find me a porn star?
I have not found you a porn star yet. No, I might have a gold miner or something in mind.
Okay.
Yeah, a real life gold digger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm curious where that goes.
I know, right? I don't know. I haven't actually talked to him in person. I don't know if he listens to the show or not. But, what was I going to say about that? Yeah, so if you go over to facebook.com/TotalStickShow, that's part of the survey that we have up. You can give your input on future guests and things you may like or may not like to see in future guests. So, yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that's something that's going on coming up in September for us. Some of the other suggestions we had on our Facebook page was, yes, your health. Is there anything else you wanted to say about, like, more, not what they're doing to you, but, like, you know, where your mind's at going into this thing? Like,
well, my mind's blank. Really? That's the frightening thing is,
okay.
You know how when you're sitting by yourself, you'll have music going through your head, or you'll be having an argument with yourself, discussion with yourself. For me, there's nothing.
Really?
It's blank. The most that comes in there is maybe 3 words.
Okay. This is just since the seizure?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, yeah, it's weird.
Very interesting.
It's weird. So everything that comes out of my mouth isn't really thought out.
Okay. That's something interesting. I'm sure there's people who who like with various kinds of brain injuries and stuff who have felt that way and don't know how to necessarily put that into words. That's very interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to describe it is it's just blank.
Yeah, well, like you said, because we assume we're always thinking about something, sort of. Like, even when you don't want to be thinking about something, you're thinking about something. What you're going to eat, whatever. But, yeah.
Now, let's see. The other things I've done is I've made preparations for all my hobby stuff.
Okay.
Who's getting that, contacted everybody, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm.
It's got to come with a range of reactions, I'm sure.
At this point, no. It's pretty... everybody kind of understands.
Okay.
It's a step that you have to do. Your main stuff in your house, like your wife is obviously going to keep and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the crap that she has no interest in whatsoever, and you don't want to be thrown out. So you make plans for that. So like all the electric football stuff, a lot of the board games, Subbuteo stuff, the hobby stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've made sure that people know that if things go sideways, hell, there's a microphone here for Paul.
Well, I'm hoping I don't get
into it.
I know. I got to deal with all that residual like Shane breath though. If I don't know if I want that.
It's a quality mic. Did you know I use the same mic as Sargon of Akkad?
Oh, check that out.
I didn't even notice that until I was watching one of his talking head videos. And I'm looking at the microphone, and I'm going, hey, wait a minute. That's my mic.
I recognize you. Okay.
Hey, a guy with 1 million subscribers uses the same mic that I do.
Yeah.
Look at me. That's cool.
I own not that I ever get to use it or do anything with it, but I own a studio mic that, like, not for computers, but for music, basically, singing and talking and stuff like that. That's like that. Like, I see it on TV all the time and stuff because it's like a standard for different venues and stuff around the world. So it's kind of cool when you look up and you're like, hey, there, I have that thing over there. It is. It's kind of...
Oh, I wanted to follow up on something really quick now that it entered into my head.
Oh, well, okay, sure.
You were talking about Paul Stanley.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's the one with the star, right?
Yes.
I didn't realize he sang I Was Made for Loving You.
Yeah, he sings a lot.
That one?
Yeah.
See, I just assumed Gene Simmons was the frontman, lead singer.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, that's a kind of common misconception, depending how much you know.
I had no idea.
Misconception. Yeah, no, he's not. That's the weird thing about that band. He's like the guy that everybody knows of. He might as well be the frontman, but he's not.
And isn't he just a bassist?
Yeah, he's just a bassist. Like, no.
And I apologize for anybody that's a bassist.
No, I don't care about everybody else who's a bassist. I'm sorry, Terry. It was not supposed to come out that way.
Oh shit, Terry's a bassist.
Terry's a fucking bassist. Yeah, watch it. Yeah.
You know how I think the bassist came to be?
Okay, hit me.
So I'm picturing, a bunch of kids starting their own band, like 14, 15 years old, and they're practicing in their garage, right?
Okay.
And so whoever's house is there, they have like the 8-year-old little brother. And, the mother's going, no, you have to let him participate too. Mom, we don't have here's an old guitar with like 3 strings left. And you're like, what's he going to do? Oh, just have him hit the same string over and over and over again. All right, Billy, just do this. Yeah, I get to play. So that's my thought of how the bass came to be.
Wow. Okay.
Terry's gonna punch me out when.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even feel like I get to say anything. Like I'm not even gonna touch this. I think we have somebody way more fucking qualified to ream you out for that than me. So
I'm gonna have a Facebook message tomorrow. What the?
Yeah.
Well, I have another buddy of mine who's a bassist, and we used to play Rock Band all the time, and I think I made that joke.
Okay.
Almost got hit with a plastic guitar.
I bet. Fuck. I don't even know what I was going to say before that. Kiss. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Gene Simmons. I always assumed Gene Simmons was the frontman, and then I was like,
no.
What the fuck's he doing?
Wait,
what the hell's that guy doing singing?
Yeah, okay. No, he sings 99% of, like, Gene Simmons, there's a couple, like, Unholy was off a weird album they did in, like, 93 or something like that. He sings, that and a couple other weird things. But the sound we associate with Kiss is Paul Stanley's voice, yeah.
Huh, and like I said, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there you go.
I
Check
learned
that out.
something.
That's very cool.
Oh, speaking of shit we don't know,
Okay.
we have a game going.
We have a game going. Yeah.
Now, what was your original guess for the sport of hurling?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
So, yes,
you
I
remember
remember
what your final choice was?
Yeah. Like a height-based javelin
put.
throw kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like height-based shot.
You were
put,
hoping
which-
it was drunk curling. But
I was hoping it was drunk curling or hungover curling.
Yeah.
And as far as the height-based shot put thing, don't get me wrong, I can imagine that in my head, and I see how there'd be a lot of fatalities. But I just figure there must be a system in place where you stand back or something. I just,
Hey, I don't put past anybody to create any sport.
No, I mean, I really don't. And this is obviously something that I haven't heard of a lot, so maybe it is like cheese rolling. Maybe it's something that I just don't, maybe
So now,
it's
were
weird.
you surprised at the size of crowds and the popularity of this sport?
So now I know what hurling is.
So why
And-
don't you tell everybody what hurling is?
And I failed to really, I kind of thought when we talked about this last week that, oh yeah, I'll find in half hour to sit down and just watch a game while I'm doing something else.
Seriously?
But I didn't watch a game or anything like that. But yeah, I took a look into it. It's, okay, a lot of people liken it to something that's called Gaelic football, something else I don't know of.
Gaelic football is awesome. Yep.
But to me, as an uninformed external viewer of this, to put it in perspective for all the other people that don't know, it kind of looks like lacrosse.
It has some similarities to lacrosse.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when you're looking at it from a distance, no, it's not a throwing contest. It's way closer to something like lacrosse.
Okay, well, you've done a terrible job of describing it.
So, well, no, but I think that's reasonable for people who don't know what it is, because it
Not
lets
in
you
the
know.
least.
It lets you know that it's not a one-person sport. It lets you know that you're not all scoring on the same thing, which I don't think you are, but maybe you are. It gives you some input, it gives you some football.
Why are we
no
playing
sticks.
these games?
Football is nothing like lacrosse because no sticks. You know what I mean? So, so that's what I'm saying.
All
So,
right, it has a lot of similarities to soccer as well.
Okay.
Remember, it's same field, same type of thing. Has a goal on each end. The main difference is the players are holding wooden sticks that look like small axes.
Okay. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And it's a hard, kind of like an Indian rubber ball, a very hard ball. And you're moving the ball up and down the field, whacking the ball. You can actually pick it up and whack it. And then the scoring goes if you can actually shoot one into the net. And by the way, their goaltenders are nuts. I would never do that. 3 points for a goal. But they also have uprights over top of the net. And if you swing and hit the ball over the net between the posts, that's 1 point.
So you don't even have to get it in the net.
Nope.
Talk about letting your little brother play. Okay, yeah. Go on.
So yeah, it's kind of like a mix of soccer and has some rugby-ish rules into it, and similar to lacrosse, but it's actually an entertaining little game you can sit down and watch. But
And
I thought that was a good choice, even though Paul didn't do the research.
Well, I did a bit of the research at least, and we
You
got
did
to learn
not
about
do
it.
the research.
And we got to learn about it as a group. Unlike lacrosse, it's not a net, because I said it was like lacrosse, but not a net, a stick.
It's a soccer
the
net.
Stick is not a net. Yeah, but
Yes.
the stick is not a net. The stick is more like a paddle. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like something you would use to haze frat boys, and then
Sure.
it's like baseball meets soccer after that point, with hockey masks.
Well, some of the guys wear masks.
Yes, some of them. I noticed that. It seems to be totally optional. It seems to,
And did you notice the goaltenders? The goaltenders have no equipment.
none at all. No,
No.
and they flail about like.
Oh,
just,
well, they're
just-
trying to hit the thing with the stick. I mean, they're really trying not to get hit in the body with it, but
Ideally.
Jesus Christ, you have to be nuts.
No, it's a pretty mad game, and the way that these guys balance the ball, that's something else I noticed about. The way these guys balance the ball is a whole art in itself. Like, it takes the whole you at birthday parties used to have to do the carry the egg in a spoon thing when you're a little kid.
Yep,
This is like
yep.
that on steroids, man. If that shit went to the Olympics, that's who these guys are. Like, that's like they incredibly it seems like a very skilled game to me. It seems
It
like,
is, and it's actually entertaining. It's something you can watch without knowing the details of the sport, and you can watch a game and enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah,
So.
like the pure like stick handling, I guess it wouldn't be puck handling, ball handling, or whatever that they do is in itself, I think, more impressive than.
And they allow contact.
It seemed like they allowed contact.
You betcha, body checking's fine. So now, hurling's one of those ones. If you pull it up on YouTube, you can usually find like the old Irish Championship game and stuff like that on there.
Okay.
It's worth a watch.
Well, I watched some compilations and that kind of stuff. What I mean is, like, I didn't sit down and watch a whole game. Like, to see,
you watched 3 minutes of a YouTube video and said, "Okay, I'm good."
Ish, yeah, kind of deal, yeah. Yeah. You know how people do research nowadays. Like but that's like basically what I did. Because all I needed to know was roughly what it was. I knew you'd be into all the details and the specs of it. Like, I wasn't gonna give a lecture on a sport I found a week ago. But yeah, no, it was interesting. So
I'm disappointed.
The idea is that I get that feeling at the end of every podcast. The idea was
not making the joke I want to, not doing it.
No, okay.
No.
I was
Stephanie would kill me.
Supposed to. I can only imagine now. I don't fucking even know.
Stephanie's Paul's wife.
Probably worse. Yeah, I don't say that. I always just call her my wife because that seems to put it in context for listening. Even if you haven't listened to another episode, you don't need to know who it is. So I think I always just say my wife. So,
well, yeah, I do too, usually. But
what was I going to say? I guess people are more likely to know my wife because then the vague chance there's anybody who crosses over all the projects on the website, then I also have a YouTube channel with her. So it's statistically more likely somebody would know of both, but like know me and her. But anyway, so this week I was technically supposed to leave you with a song, and
which is good. No, that's fine.
You were going to tell me what genre you thought it was. You were going to tell me a bit about it.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other thing. And then next week you were going to tell me what.
So it's 2 weeks.
And then next week we're going
to.
But since you're having surgery next week and this and the other thing, we're going to have so much to deal with when you get back. I thought, should we just do that? Like, I have a song. I don't care about getting. But I thought maybe we should just do it when you get back.
Why not?
Okay, 2 weeks seems like a long time to spend on that. Okay, so the song
we'll bring it up in 2 weeks.
Okay, sure. So
yeah, whatever. It's fine.
The song I have for you.
Okay.
Will be called White Trash.
Okay.
And what I want to know from you, well, one of the first things I really want to know from you is what genre you think this falls into.
Well, if I hear white trash, the first thing I'm thinking is kind of a grunge.
Oh, okay.
That's where I would kind of sit towards it. You know, kind of that early 90s, that Nirvana-ish, grungy. Okay. You know, I'm a rich white guy and I just need to be upset about shit.
Fair, okay.
Yeah, so that's the genre.
I was going to give you the year, but you literally have already covered that. So never mind. You don't need the year. You already know what year it came out in. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. You're right. Early 90s. 95.
Okay. Yeah. And I would assume the content of the song is probably taking pot shots at your southern lower class white trailer park trash.
Okay.
That's where I would kind of go with it. So a grungy song in that genre attacking that. That would be my guess.
Well then, interesting. I will send you links throughout the week for it, like after the podcast, should I say for it?
Yep. I'll point out I don't know the song.
Yeah. No.
Off the top of my head, I no idea.
Interest. Okay, no, some of your guesses though. Yeah, like you did last week. I'm not going to say anymore, but I'm interested. No. That's interesting guesses there.
It's nice to know I was in the year ballpark, though.
Yeah, I was impressed with that.
I may not even be close on the genre, but but that's okay.
There you go.
But that's what I think when I heard that.
Yeah. Okay, very nice, very nice. Okay, so that's logged now. That's on the record. So in 2 weeks, we will come back and see.
And I will try and do more than 3 minutes of research. Wow.
If I manage to throw you.
Well,
it's a song.
Yeah, I guess it won't be much more than 5 minutes, probably.
So, in all fairness, it's not like an hour-long game. It literally, you can do the entire thing in 3 minutes.
I was, I went out for coffee with my brother the other day.
Okay.
And he suggested that we do both in the same episode.
Okay, so we come back to both answers.
Like, for me to give you, like, each of us to give each other one every show.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, if you want to do that, I do have one off the top of my head.
Do you? Okay, well, let's give it a shot. And especially, if for no other reason we won't be back for 2 weeks, we might as well do 2. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
So the sport I'm going to give you...
All right.
Now, you might know this.
Well, if I do, I'll be honest.
Well, yeah, if you do, then, great.
Yeah.
The sport is called Jaialai.
What? Okay, no, I don't know that.
The sport is called Jaialai.
How do I even spell that?
Jai, I believe. You figure it out from there.
Jaialai?
Yep.
Okay, I said that right. Jaialai. I can't even begin to imagine what that is. Okay, Jaialai. It's not North American or anything like that. I'm gonna say it's like like a South American sport, so not European either. Like obviously not American, but you know what I mean. So I'm gonna say like South American.
Sure.
It's a sport. So to me, it sounds like a form of dance, but I'm assuming
it is not a dance.
That. No,
I will promise you, it has nothing to do with dancing.
Yeah, no. Okay. That's a crazy name. So it is. I'm literally pulling this out of my ass like the last one. It is, similar to basketball in the sense that your goal is in the air. It's elevated and something possibly... I mean, if it's a square and not a hoop, I don't want to go to the ring.
No. I wouldn't ring you out on something
I would like
that.
to think it's a hoop. I would like to even think
You're saying there's
a
goal of some sort.
That's elevated, yeah.
Sure,
so
an elevated goal. Yep.
Kind of like a field goal meets a basketball, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like, yeah, up there. And but probably not a net, just a circle form. And one at each side. It's that kind of sport. It's not both on the same. And I'm very skeptical. We just had a stick sport, so I'm like, I don't know if I feel like this is going to be one too. Or because I feel strongly that Jaialai isn't using your hands. I think you need something else to play that. But how you get it up into that hole, I don't want to come too close to hurling, but could be related. So it's a stick sport. I feel like that's the part I'm going to live to regret, with an elevated goal.
So like two teams going at each other with two goals.
Yeah, one on each side, but it's up in the air and it's front facing
and a stick sport.
And I guess a stick sport just because the name makes me think of sticks. I don't even know why. If that's the wrongest part of what I said, then that's fine. But
no, you took a reasonable stab at something that actually could make sense. I could understand something with sticks and nets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing off the wall on that.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you if you're anywhere close. Yeah,
okay. Fair enough. Okay, yeah, I'm curious to find out what that is. I'm looking forward to Googling it just to figure out how the hell you spell it. So, we also had other suggestions on the Facebook page.
All right, what do we got?
We had sex in the Catholic Church.
Oh, you mean we want to talk about priests touching little boys?
Don't really want to talk about it, but I want to acknowledge that it was a
okay. Well, no. I'll give a bullet point on this.
Okay.
All organized religion is horse shit. And yes, the Catholic Church is very bad. They're touching little boys. Why do you go there? Why are you giving them money?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. That makes sense. And they've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah,
like
it's not exactly...
They're very bad, and we knew that already.
Yeah, we're not breaking ground here on anything.
Yeah. The fact that there's new outrage is almost more despicable than
let's just put it this way. Shane does not like organized religion.
Yeah, as neither do I.
So, I'm all fine if if religion helps you and so on and so forth. Just don't shove it down my throat. Don't put it in the schools, so on and so forth. Do what you want to do. That's fine.
And don't use it to fucking hurt people.
Exactly.
Stop doing that.
Yep.
Bad. You get your religion taken away for a week. Stop hurting people. Okay, so that's that.
And we're not picking on any specific religion like Islam right now, because the Catholic Church has its own... it has its own history of let's just say ass wipes.
I don't think anything we said seemed like it was targeted to anybody until you spoke.
Well, if you're talking about violence and religion today.
Oh, I guess,
Let's face
using it to hurt people. See, when I say using religion to hurt people, I think way more of a Western tradition. Like, on the top of my head, I wasn't even thinking about anything outside of our little walls here. Like,
yeah, but, again, I don't care what the hell religion you assign to. I don't care what God you pray to. I don't care what you do. Keep it out of my face. Keep it out of the schools. It has nothing to do with education. But again, you believe what you want to believe. You're not hurting anybody. I don't care.
Yep. Okay, so we covered that.
And hanging the priests that are guilty of this thing, I would be perfectly fine with.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they want old school solutions to everything else. They might.
You want to touch little kids? Hang them. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a Bible verse for that describes a brutal death.
Oh, jeez, you ever read that thing?
Oh yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
Have you actually ever read the Bible?
Okay, I haven't done a single time front to back of it. But I've been into it many times.
Oh my goodness! I'll tell you. Well, the only positive thing I can say about that is, at least with the New Testament, they tried to bring it a little more loving.
Yeah.
I mean, Old Testament was wrath of God shit, and it's just like, okay.
And just some really depraved caveman-ass, just it moves, fuck it kind of stuff. Like, just, I don't know, some weird shit, some really weird shit, yeah. So, yeah, that was a weird place to get to. I feel like that's a fine. Weird place to end.
Hey, if you've ever read the Quran, I've read the Quran as well, translated, and it's just as bad.
When I no longer have to work like every single day of my life and stuff like that, I want to eventually do that kind of thing, go through and learn about the different religions. I spent some time going to Buddhist services and surrounding myself with that kind of thing, and I've been into Christianity for a period of time, and this and the other thing. So I've done a little bit of exploring, but I'm definitely
I'll tell you one thing you do have to experience. This is not racist in any way, so just, if you've never been to a black church, you got to go to black church once. I have.
Okay. Nice.
That's a happy place. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, if you're in any of the Christian faiths or whatever, Mass is terrible, and you're just sitting there for an hour and a half, and you're just bored out of your skull, so on and so forth. You go to a black church, God, they're singing. They're like, it's like motivational speech going through the whole thing. Like, it was awesome. I have no belief in it or anything like that, but it was cool to go to. And I was like, oh, well, you guys are having fun doing this. Well done.
Yeah, no doubt. There's actually, you might be surprised. I'm assuming you don't go to a lot of churches.
No.
You might be surprised. There's a lot. That attitude is very prevalent in even white churches now, and I'm not saying the same camaraderie, the same spirit, the same environment. That's why I still would say I'd like to see that. But
in the last decade I've been to, it's what you would call a white church, I've never seen anything that makes me want to do anything other than shoot myself.
Okay, no, some of them have dynamic rock bands and shit like that. So all white churches are not dull anymore.
Okay,
and the
whole
that's good. Motivational speaker they bring them out with. And the thing I always sit there and think, they're incredible. Some of these churches put on phenomenal shows. But
good.
The thing that always bothers me is I sit there and I think, but like, this costs money. Like, that's what you're, like, church should be boring. Church should be,
Why should church be boring? I like the idea of church being uplifting and something you actually want to go to.
Okay, now I don't dispute that, but coming straight, like, if all of this means something, if the religion means something and all that, you should be uplifted by what you're there doing. Okay?
It's all about interpretation, though.
My issue is putting money into a collection plate so some guy can walk out like a rock star in the middle of the stage, and they can seat hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and all this, and that's what you're paying for. That's what I mean by that. That's what I object to. Like, church should be boring because the money shouldn't be going into making the church a fucking coliseum.
Wasn't there recently just like another Catholic minister or Christian minister is just like, yeah, I need to buy another jet, so up your donations. No, it was fairly recent in the news. Okay. Like, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, I go there, we slip $10 or something into the plate just because, well, I don't want to get decked by the guy next to me.
It's interesting, actually. The more modern, I don't know how to put that, churches, like the places I'm talking about that have these rock shows every fucking Sunday, right?
Sure.
They do things. You can pay online. You can pay
I'm
debit
sure.
at the door, this, that, and the other thing. So all of that takes the pressure off. So when people aren't paying into the collections, they can't look at you and be like, "Oh, how dare you not?" Because for all they know, you've given more than they have. So
God totally needs your money.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah, don't ever forget. God needs your money.
Yeah. No fucking shit. He makes the grass grow, but God knows he needs our money. You know, shit we invented and fucking printed. He needs that. Yeah.
Damn right.
Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, I get an ulcer when I talk about that. So anyways.
No, we're good. I think we covered that.
Yeah, I
fairly
think
and actually fairly inoffensively.
I think we did okay. Yeah.
I'm proud of us.
I feel like
we might not have anybody wanting to murder us after that bit.
So that was Sex and Violence. Now, when I heard Sex and Violence, I wanna do the weirdest freaking promotion in the world, because I'm pretty sure the people that did it don't even know it exists anymore. There was a song on YouTube a long time ago called Sex and Violins. Okay. And I really, really like the song, and it's the weirdest, most screwed up song in the world because nobody knows who the fuck it is. It's called Sex and Violence. Nobody knows if that's the name of the band and the song or just the name of the song, because they say it multiple times in the song, so it's definitely the name of the song as well. But there's no information on the band. They have never commented on the video. And somebody commented in the threads. Now, I haven't been back there in a long time to check up on this, and somebody commented in the thread a long time ago, "Oh, this guy's my cousin," and stuff, but then nobody could get any more information out of him. So it's just the most random fucking thing, but it's actually a good song, and it's called Sex and Violins.
Okay, so I can help you with Sex and Violence in one YouTube video.
Okay, hit
or
me.
Or one song.
Okay.
Sexecutioner by Guar.
Yes! Yes, I think that was the first... It was that or Happy Death Day was the first Guar song I ever heard.
So there you go. If you want Sex and Violence, my recommendation for you, just off the top of my head, is Sexecutioner by Guar. Should cover both for you.
Yep. That is awesome that she said that. Yes, definitely. Definitely that. I'm all about that.
See, I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah, so check
It's far easier when my brain's blank. Because the stuff just comes out.
You have more time to insert your own thoughts.
No, I have no time. It's just like, okay, what comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth.
Yeah, I said that wrong, but I can't find a way to explain it. So never mind.
We'll just smile and nod our head.
Yeah, we'll just smile and nod our head. Whoa. Okay, so update. So I just looked up that video, the
Which
Sex
one?
and Violins video.
Oh yeah.
That I was talking about, and I am still the first comment that comes up. And it's only been listened to 39,000 times, which I know sounds like a lot, but still, like, it's been up there since 2007, and it's a really good song. So 39,000 is not a lot, like, not considering. And somebody commented, because I asked, seriously, who the hell is this? And 3 years ago, I had been listening to the song for 5 years. So I've known the song for quite a while now. And somebody actually commented to me that his name is Lynn Sorensen. So I don't think this ever was a band. Maybe it was just something he was trying to put together. That's why his name isn't on the video. Apparently his name is Lynn Sorensen. He lives in Seattle. What the guy that commented does. He lives here in Seattle. He also plays with Paul Rogers and Bad Company last time I knew. Okay. He is an awesome down-to-earth guy. Plays bass and violin beautifully. He is massively talented. Look him up online. He's there.
So he plays bass, so he hates me automatically.
Yeah! Yep. But what do you think of violin? Maybe you could redeem him with some violin flattery.
No, I'm good with violin.
Right?
Violin mixed with rock
Yeah.
can be excellent.
You should check out the song, actually. It's really cool.
I'm sure I will.
Okay. Cool.
I'll have forgotten in 5 minutes, but I'm sure I'll have checked it out.
Well, I'll send it to you. I'll try to send it to you. And there's only 13 comments on this video. So, I mean, like, I shit you not. And 25 people subscribe to this channel. So, I shit you not. This is like a buried gem. Hopefully more people hear it now because of this. I don't often think our podcast has that kind of power. But, I mean, when I'm up against 13 comments, we might. Get out there and listen to this thing, man. I want to see these numbers jump. It's a good song.
All right. So, that's the closest thing you've ever done to shill life.
That's, I think, the closest thing I've ever done to shill life, and organically, definitely, too. So that's what sex and violence made me think of. Okay. So whoever suggested that we cover sex and violence, there you go.
Hey, we have covered it.
We've covered it.
Oh.
So, we're also supposed to talk about cannibalism! So, I don't have much...
you're going to have to take the lead on this one.
Okay, well, I don't have much to talk about cannibalism because there's not a lot of news. I actually looked to see if there's any news going on in cannibalism. I mean, a few years back, they created a human meat replica so people could experience eating human meat and stuff like that.
Really?
So, you know, if that had just happened, that would have been something that would have been new in cannibalism. But there really isn't much new going on in cannibalism right now. Yeah, it's called Hoopfer. That's what it's called.
Really good.
Yep. So, but... last week we talked about a show that I'm watching.
No, you said cannibalism, or is this still tying into cannibalism?
This is getting there.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
So, last week we talked about a show I was watching that you've watched a couple seasons of.
Oh, The 100.
The 100. Yes. And I have an issue with this show because when I'm watching it, sometimes there'll be a new character or something, or like there's a guy on there that used to play a character on another show I used to watch called Third Watch, and this and the other. So every so often something like that'll happen. I'll see somebody on the screen and I'll be like, oh, I need to, like, I want to look that's the guy from that fucking show, and I'll go to look it up and stuff. And because The 100 apparently has a very devoted fan base, the first result that always freaking comes up is the Wiki 100. And that means that I get on Google, I don't even have to click, I get a synopsis of the character, and in bright letters, it has, like, character status, and it'll say deceased or living. So, at least twice now I've tried to look something up.
So why are you looking on Wikipedia?
I'm not. That's what I mean.
Oh, when in the search engine.
Google literally puts the Wiki 100 at the top, and it's there. I don't have to click on it. It gives me the character profile. Like, that's what I mean. It's out to get me. Like, it's hard to avoid. And if I look to make sure it's not there, then I see it anyways. So anyways, okay. I looked up freaking cannibalism, and they fucking got me again! I got another there was an article about cannibalism in this show. So I got another freaking spoiler, and right in the subtext of the head, right there, I got a fucking another spoiler about and this had nothing to do with it. So now there's nothing I can look up. Now I can't Google anything, because my fucking Google's out to get me and ruin the show for me. My name's Paul Johnson. I'm a freelance writer, author, vlogger, creator of The Total Stick Show, and, oh god, all kinds of other things. You can head on over to everythingpaul.net to get an eye full of all of that. But the part I'm most excited about, with me again for the first time in a very long time, welcome the one and only, the man with the golden voice, it's Shane motherfucking Hoopfer!
Ooh, I got an extra word in that.
You did. I thought you'd like that.
I feel special.
Yeah, I thought I knew your favorite intro of all time, so I thought I'd try to give you the intro plus.
That was awesome.
Okay,
that was awesome. I loved that. Oh, so I guess I'm not dead.
No, you're not dead. You're here in the flesh.
I'm very, very happy to be back.
Indeed.
It's I guess it's been a while.
it's been a while. I think it's been about 5 episodes, something like that now you've been away for. So this is pretty good, and we're very happy to have you back. I'm very happy to have you back, and I'm sure everybody listening is. I'm probably going to wind up sitting back for a lot of this because you have a lot to share You have a great deal to say.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I got something we should talk about almost right away.
okay, well, let's dive in, Splash.
Hello, Australia, and hello, Ireland.
Okay.
Have you not noticed we have new listeners?
Yeah, Ireland kicked in there a little while ago, yeah.
Ireland and Australia. Two countries that agree with us that American beer should be called soda pop.
And you think that's why they're on board with us? Or?
I think so.
Okay, fair enough.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been, so just, I'll get this part out of the way.
Okay.
For the listeners. My time frame from the time I went down during brain surgery with the stroke, is really messed up. It's like it doesn't exist in my head. Mm-hmm. So when I say 2 weeks ago, it could actually mean 5 weeks ago because I have no idea.
If I'm capable of correcting you, I will, but I have no excuse. I'm just terrible with time and the concept of it. So, if I can correct you, I will. But there might be times when I agree with you.
It's amazing. It's like there's a blank spot in time for me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm still standing. So what are we going to say? Mid-September or early September?
Early September, yeah. It was the beginning of September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know we're October 11th or so, something like that?
Yep. So
okay.
It's been over a month. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, first off, I'm going to say you have no idea how happy I am to be back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have missed this dramatically. It was awesome that Paul came with some recording equipment. We got to record a little bit at the hospital. Mm-hmm. And do we want to pick up from there?
Yeah, I'm thinking so, Paul, because in there you talked a little about having gone in and going in and the fact that you had a stroke and stuff like that. I think, yeah, let's pick up from there and talk about some of the trail of rehab.
Right as we were recording, I got transferred to Unit 58.
Yeah.
Which is the specific stroke recovery unit and brain injury center. And to describe it, it's like a boarding school.
Oh.
Yeah, you have your assigned room, and there's a specific dining hall that you have to go to, and there's a big board with all your therapy sessions and when you had to be there, and it was on you to be there. So it was a pretty unique situation.
Okay, yeah. That wasn't what I imagined. Okay.
Now, this is not a slam on anybody at the foothills in Unit 58, but Unit 58 sucked.
Oh, really?
Oh, really. I was pushing for my own escape.
Okay. I was hopeful for you. It seemed like, because I was over there one day with you while you were in there, and it seemed like things were pretty good. I was hopeful.
The therapy was awesome.
Okay.
But, as far as the ability for the nurses to be able to help you out in a more efficient manner, it wasn't as possible.
Oh.
So, for example, you'd be in pain and you're looking for pain pills and it might take 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, stuff like that. Or you want to talk to the doctor, for example, to get some information. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you get to see him in a few days.
Wow, really, eh?
Yeah, I was not impressed.
No doubt. For a place where they were supposed to have like 8 people per patient. That's batshit bonkers.
The therapists is probably pretty close, actually. A lot of therapists there.
Okay.
So I'll go through some of the therapies I was doing.
Yeah.
So they had the first one I went through was speech therapy, and a lot of that is making sure you can talk and communicate effectively and also understand what's being said.
Yeah.
I flew through that. That was pretty much immediately, yeah, you're fine. You're fine, get out of here.
Yeah, because there's no point I saw you where I thought, oh my god, he can't talk. Like, what's wrong with him? Like, speech didn't seem to be an issue for you throughout this.
No, it was often, Shane, you don't have to give me answers this long.
Okay.
It's like, well, that's what I do. And then the next one that I found was entertaining was physiotherapy.
Okay.
So physiotherapy, you think they would be working on my hand. Mm-hmm. I guess I should also explain kind of the end results of all this. So right now my left hand is pretty buggered from the stroke. The thumb, pointer finger, and ring finger are all very tingly and in a lot of pain and not very useful.
Okay.
So you would have thought, and the mental capacity has been hurt.
Oh, okay.
It's a little foggy at times, and I'm having other problems. Like, for example, I can't look at a screen I've gotten up to almost an hour now before I have to shut it off.
Oh, is it just dizziness past that, or eye strain? Or?
Yeah, it just doesn't feel good.
Oh, okay.
You know, as simple as that, it just doesn't feel, you just don't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I caught a couple of periods of one of the hockey games.
Okay.
I was happy about that. Able to watch a little YouTube here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of my time was spent listening to podcasts.
Ah.
And you know what? There was a lot of listening to the Total Stick Quest and the Total Stickcast.
Okay.
I tell you, those guys are pretty good.
I don't know. I tried them out. It's a slow enjoyment curve. I couldn't really get into those. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It is a acquired taste.
Yeah, it definitely. It's like black licorice. It's not for everybody. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But did that, and I listened to a lot of Dan Carlin's Hardcore History.
Okay.
We've talked about that in the past.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned him before, yeah.
I think I shelled for him once.
Possibly, yeah.
And that was quite... so that was kind of my forms of entertainment early. Okay. That and I've been vaping nonstop.
Well, I look forward to editing this.
Well, a lot of the times... you can get bored very easily if you can't look at a screen, and you're tired a lot.
Okay.
Like there are days when I'm taking 3 or 4 2-hour naps.
Wow.
Along with a full sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I got the shit kicked out of me.
But you're back up on your feet.
I'm walking. Mental capacity is slowly coming back. I'm getting a little better every day. Okay. The hand is buggered.
Yeah, so talk about the hand a little bit. I don't know if you talked about that during the bonus episode.
Maybe not.
Not? No. So kind of take us back to the stroke and out of that into your hand.
With stroke, often people can lose the ability to lose one side of their body. Mm-hmm. For me, I got pretty damn fortunate, I think, and it only affected my hand. Mm-hmm. And so my left hand, like I said, the thumb, the pointer, and the middle finger, they are movable, but it hurts like hell. And there's no feeling in it other than kind of a tingly pain. So, for example, if I try and hold something in my left hand, it'll often slip right through. Okay.
So is this akin kind of like I don't want to simplify it, but to sleeping on your arm or something like that? Is it permanently on a high scale?
That's actually not a bad description at all.
Okay.
When your leg falls asleep or your arm falls asleep on you, that's not a bad description at all. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the tingly sensation. Hurts like hell to touch. So I've got to be careful of that, and I'm trying to work it. And I am going for more therapy at the Peter Lougheed now that I'm home.
Oh, right.
I guess I should discuss also how I escaped.
Yeah, how you escaped. You're not even supposed to be here today.
Well, you know what? If a lot of people had their way, I'd still be in the hospital. the biggest problems I had was, I couldn't fit in the bed.
What?
Beds weren't big enough for me.
At any point during your stay, or just the rehab
No,
unit?
at any point. They did their best. They did their best to try. Oh no, at the rehab, at Unit 58, they tried their best to make something workable, but it was never comfortable. And I would often be sleeping in the doorways, the outer doorways, leading to outside, because there were comfortable chairs there.
Oh.
And obviously that's not safe.
No.
But that's what it was, and I was getting maybe, at best, 2 to 3 hours of sleep.
Oh, wow.
And it was really affecting me in some of the therapy sessions, and I was miserable.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And I was communicating with my wife through Facebook, and I'm telling her, get me the fuck out of here. And I'm telling every nurse, like, I want out of here. I can damn well sleep at home. I will come back for therapy.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow.
You know? So eventually they decided that I was competent enough that I could go home, and now my therapy sessions will be starting at the Peter Lougheed soon.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you if you had what kind of outpatient stuff you had on the go, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be going to the Peter Lougheed and doing therapy sessions there. And then I will, obviously, I'm living at home since we're recording a podcast. And that's kind of the update. But so we're talking about physio again.
Yeah.
Physio in Unit 58.
Yeah.
So you would think, now I would think, and again, I'm not a doctor, but I would think that we would be concentrating on my hand.
Yes.
Nope. Everything was about my knees and my hips.
What?
Oh, yeah, knee and hip exercises.
Really? That has nothing to do with your problem.
Well, when they were doing the testing, one of the medications they had to take me off was anti-inflammatories.
Yes, I remember this. I think
Yes,
we talked a little on the podcast about that.
Yeah. So my knees were very shaky.
Okay.
And because there's been a lot of damage done to them over the years. Yeah. So I guess that was the concentration early.
Wow.
And then they also had recreational therapy, which is a little more fun, actually. Recreational therapy is actually playing games.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like little board games or something like that. Trying to guide you along, stuff with colors and numbers. And I actually ended up donating half a dozen games to them.
Okay, yeah, I think you told me a little bit about that too. Yeah. Okay, so do you want to, tell me about that. Being a philanthropist over there, Shane.
Well, they're board games. I mean, I think they live on the game Sequence, if you've ever played that.
I think so.
It's a card game where you're trying to get 5 in a row, kind of like tic-tac-toe using cards.
Okay.
And a lot of it's promoting thinking ahead, right? And trying to get you to think ahead and plan stuff out. And that's how they are developing your mental capacity.
Yeah.
By using games like that.
Okay.
And so I had half a dozen games that we don't play anymore that were pretty good, actually, for that idea.
Oh.
So I brought them with me, and I'm like, here you go, guys.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was that the games were so bad there that you felt they needed something better. I didn't. Okay. But it was just that you had relative games. Yeah.
There was games that were appropriate.
Yeah, okay.
That and a shuffleboard table.
Oh, and a shuffleboard table. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that was fun to play with a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But not that helpful for what I was doing. And then the hard one.
Okay.
Occupational therapy.
And what's that?
Occupational therapy is basically functioning as a human being. So, for example, one of the things I did which pissed me off to no end was almost like a treasure hunt where I had to go through the entire hospital finding things, like go to the store, find prices of birthday cards, stuff like that.
A scavenger hunt. That's
Yeah.
what they call that, I think, yeah.
But the part that pissed me off,
Okay.
the whole thing was, one of those things was find the library in the Tom Baker Cancer Center.
Okay.
There's not a lot of signage for this library. So, I figured I'll ask the people that work there.
Mm-hmm.
I asked 4 staff members, where's the library? They all went, I have no idea.
What?
I'm serious.
Oh, ouch.
And the therapist is there with me, and I turn around and look at her, and I go, this is ridiculous. I mean, you don't walk into Best Buy, ask a sales associate, where are the TVs? And they go, I don't know.
Yeah, like at that point I'd be complaining in a retail environment, much less a fucking hospital, man. Yeah, okay.
And then there was stuff like they had me go through fake bank statements and going through making sure bills were paid and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, and going through there and making sure that I was competent to use money. You know, if I was buying something for $6.34 and I gave them a 10, how much change am I getting back? Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. Real world applications.
Yeah.
To make sure that, you know, you're going to be able to survive. Oh, and also with occupational therapy, they also had one where they have a kitchen. They have a full blown kitchen. And she goes, cook something. And I'm literally like, I haven't cooked anything in my kitchen in 5 years. I barbecue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm sitting there like, all right, I take out a frying pan, I take out a pound of bacon, fry that bacon up, toast it up, 4 pieces of bread, bacon on the bread, some cheddar cheese on there. That was a good test, actually. I make sure I didn't cut my fingers off, you know, slicing cheddar cheese.
Yeah, dexterity and things like that.
Yeah.
You didn't cut way too much or not enough.
And it's little things like that. You know, you are testing and learning. So, I mean, it is very valuable. But, oh yeah, I burnt up some bacon, threw it on some toast with some cheese. Like, all right, here you go, we're done.
Now, let me just clarify. They let you eat it when you're done, right?
Oh, God, I wasn't eating... Well, actually, I ate some of the bacon, but... No, it was just more of a matter of, could you prepare yourself something?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I gathered as much, but it also seemed like it would be kind of a sad ending if they were just like, no, give me that sandwich. In the trash it goes. You starve.
No, they feed you there.
Okay.
Like I said, you had a dining area, a communal dining area that you went to for breakfast, lunch, and dinners, all served in certain times. And you just went in, sat down, and, you know, after a couple of times, they know who you are, and they bring out whatever meal is assigned for you. And for me, a lot of protein shakes as well.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because they wanted you weighed up, didn't they?
Yeah, I was... I would imagine right around 260 when I went into the hospital.
Okay.
Today, I think I'm 225.
Wow.
Yeah, so I lost a lot of weight in there.
Mm-hmm.
I probably lost 40 to 50 pounds.
Okay.
Well, that's what happens when you do nothing and you're laying in a bed for, 4 weeks before I even got up.
Yeah, well, and you're sick, so it's not like you're laying in a bed with the benefits and the disadvantages of laziness either. You're laying there and your body's using shit to heal and survive.
Oh,
and
yeah, I was pretty active. I can share one story that I'm not going to share on perhaps another show.
Ooh.
Just subtle hinting there.
Yes, yes.
But apparently at one point, I had the catheter on both sides.
Okay.
So, do you understand what I mean by that?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. I have a typical image of a catheter. It allows you to urinate without...
Yes.
Yes.
They also have one for the backside.
Yes, yes. Does that have a different name, or is that still a catheter?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's something else, but...
But one time apparently I felt like I had to get to the bathroom. I got right up out of my bed, butt naked, or, like in a gown, ass exposed to the world.
Yeah.
Pulled both catheters out, took about 5 steps towards where the bathroom was, and collapsed.
Oh. Okay, I didn't...
Legs just gave out on me.
I haven't even heard the story off the air. What happened there? Just your legs gave out?
Yeah, my legs just, knees and legs gave out, and I went down like a sack of hammers. Now, the good thing is instinct kicked in, and I protected myself.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, I was able to protect myself with my upper body, and the instincts kicked in.
Perfect.
So that was good, in a sense, other than the poor nurses and the cleaning staff having to clean up after me. Yeah, I felt so bad about that one. I think that's when they started tying me down to the bed for a while.
Oh, this was quite early on.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I ended up getting strapped down for a while.
Yeah, well, okay, so I know that a lot, the details and kind of the other side of it, the surrealism you're going to talk about more in a possible other project, but as far as, coming out, and obviously the stroke did some damage in there, and
it certainly did. Yeah.
Confused the fuck out of you, for lack of a better word. So when you woke up, you didn't really know what was going on. And so during that, I mean, you were quite resistant to being there, I've heard, and you kind of wanted out and were trying to escape. Do you want to talk a bit about your incarceration?
Yeah. When I first, it's barely waking up, but we'll call it waking up.
Okay.
I was in full-blown delirium for probably at least a few days. I don't know how long it was exactly. Might have been even up to a week, where I was living in fantasy worlds in my mind. I'm going to be sharing some of these stories later on, perhaps on a different show.
Just a little hint.
Subtly hinting.
Well, no, not this one.
I'm sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
You can't have my mic since I didn't die.
Yeah. No doubt, right. But
sorry, buddy.
I was gonna say, oh, I just start filling up the space I had made for it with junk again.
Yeah. And actually, another thing I wanted to share on some of the therapy, one of the therapy things, which is really cool. Cool and bad at the same time. The guy was throwing a ball to me.
Okay.
And my hand, I can't close it and catch anything, right?
Yeah.
But it always went to the exact right spot. The goaltender instincts were completely kicked in.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
And I'm looking at him and I'm going, how about you actually throw it?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, and starts with, and bang, my hand's there. Can't close on it.
Yeah.
Can't close it, but the hand would be right there, exactly where it should be.
Wow. You can't stop it from doing what you know. You just
exactly.
Can't close
it's
it.
complete and utter instinct. Snap my hand right there.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it a couple of times where, something's been thrown around, like Michael's thrown something around, and I snap my left hand out in instinct, and I whack something.
Okay.
And it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Oh, because it hurts. Yeah.
It's unbelievably painful. Especially when it's used or it gets whacked.
But those faculties to do that, I just want to say, are there.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Cool. It's cool that the instinct is there.
Yeah.
But the capacity to think it out, not so much. Like when I was resetting up the microphone, I literally had to sit for a couple of hours and kind of plot out things I had to do.
Okay.
So it was odd. Even getting up and recording that demo of the podcast and my message to everybody, that was pure instinct.
Okay.
Like doing the podcasting, it was pure instinct.
That's
doing
good,
this
though.
right now. Doing this right now.
Mm-hmm.
It feels natural.
But that's a good sign, though, because we've only been doing this for like 6 months.
Yep.
4 months. Like that's a really good sign that you'll be able to learn how to do something again. Even if, and I mean, here's to hoping it is driving. But even if it's not driving, I don't believe that you're not going to be able to do something.
I hope not either. And you hope that through baby steps things improve.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, currently, I'm afraid she's right.
Okay.
Like right now, I couldn't do much. We're having another bit of our own occupational therapy today. Probably when we're done recording the podcast, is I'm going to walk with my son to the little store with $10 in my pocket. Buy some bread, buy some candy for him. Mm-hmm. And actually functionally do all that. And I haven't done that yet.
So this will be... Is this literally the first time you'll be going out? No, I guess you're not alone, but with the intent of being alone. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
this is going to be the first time.
Okay.
So, like I said, there's been progress, but every time it feels like you're advancing quickly, you realize, oh, wait, no, I'm not really advancing all that quickly. It's another baby step.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Because, even with baby steps, that means things are getting better.
Well, exactly, yeah, everything's baby steps.
And, I feel okay, with the exception of my hand. Like, physically, I feel okay. They're letting me take anti-inflammatories. Not as many as I'd like, but, it's allowing me to be more functional moving around. Yeah. Again, I get really tired, and, like, today I've already had 2 naps.
Okay.
And I'll probably have another one, honestly, after dinner.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then get back up and then get to sleep. And I'm trying to get to sleep usually at a steady 10 p.m. in that area.
Okay.
And I've been waking up at about 5 a.m.
Just to make it a consistent...
yeah.
What the hell? Routine. That's the word I'm looking for.
For myself. And that's more for myself. It's something I want to do for myself.
Oh, okay.
And... so it gets me into the habit, and it's allowed me to perhaps work on another project for the Total Stick Empire. Because it gives me, like I get up at that time, I can make myself a tea or a hot chocolate or something like that, and try and gather my thoughts, read some news bits, try and get myself into the habit of trying to keep myself mentally active. Okay. Because that's the hard part. Keeping yourself mentally active and not letting yourself slip into almost a boredom coma.
Yeah.
And because it would be so easy, like, to be honest, between the pain and the mental limitations, let's call it that.
Okay.
It would be so easy to just curl up and say, you know what, I'm just staying in bed. But we are also trying a new type of physical therapy I've never done before.
Oh, what's that?
Acupuncture.
Oh, I think you mentioned this a little bit ago there. Yeah.
I think, when we were chatting on Facebook.
Yeah. What's that like?
Yeah, it was a cool experience. So it was yesterday, I believe. Went in my chiropractor. They do acupuncture as well.
Okay.
And he said, you know what, we might be able to help a little bit. And I thought, what the hell, right? Like, I don't have anything to lose.
No. The idea has always freaked me out. I just see needles going into skin. That's all I think about.
And so we did it. And it actually is not bad at all.
Okay.
So they put in probably 4 needles around my thumb, 4 in my wrist area, and a couple at the elbow joint.
Okay.
Kind of all in that same connecting area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's neat because they put it in not very deep. Like only a couple of millimeters. They're just trying to get to the nerve is all they're trying to do.
Oh, okay.
And he literally flicks it.
What?
Yeah, puts the needle in and gives it a little flick.
Ah, okay.
And you feel it. Like you feel the nerve. And he let it sit there for like about a half hour with these needles in there.
All right.
And it was weird because I was feeling sensations.
All
It
right.
wasn't normalized by any stretch of the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But I was feeling sensations in places where it was either just pain or not a whole hell of a lot.
All right.
And I am going to go back on Thursday for another session. And we're going to see how it goes.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you is the needles don't go in very deep.
All right.
It's maybe like 2 millimeters
Okay.
for the most part. Like you're not jabbing in a needle by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
For the most part, you might feel a little pinprick when it's going in, but really nothing serious.
Okay.
Like if you ever gone for a blood test, you know, that can sting.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing like that. Not nearly as bad. Like, I kind of had to prepare myself thinking that, it was going to be worse than it was. And you kind of stiffen up a little bit, ready for that shot of pain. But no, it really wasn't bad.
Okay.
And then when they removed the needles afterwards, there were a couple of spots on the elbow joint that had a little bit of blood. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's normal. You leak a little bit. You just wipe that up. You wipe that up. It's nothing.
Okay.
Like
you
literally
leak a little bit.
Yeah, that's actually the terminology you use. You just have a little leak there, like nothing significant.
You bloody sack of fluids.
Like it's because it's not going to the veins.
Okay.
So it's like you scrape your finger and you have a little bit of blood, right? Like it's not going to kill you or anything. And literally just wiped it up. It was fine. Didn't have to cover it up or anything.
Huh.
And it's a unique experience. And last night, my wife was massaging my hand, and we kind of test out, what hurts, what doesn't.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit on the outside of my thumb that did not hurt anymore when it was touched.
Wow. So,
we'll see if that continues, right?
Yeah.
But it was an interesting feeling of, well, hey, that's at least a tiny bit better than it was.
Yeah, the change was positive. It wasn't nothing or negative. Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to going, is Thursday? Is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
I guess that's
would be
tomorrow late afternoon.
Okay.
And going to go do another one, and we'll see how it goes. And I like these guys. They've been working on me for chiropractic for years.
Okay, sweet.
And I swear by it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they kept me upright for the last 5 years of my hockey career.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, literally that big of a difference.
Wow, okay. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and day to day it makes me feel a lot better. you don't, if you have constant back pain and all of a sudden you can get rid of it, well, hey, there you go, right?
You better. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is, like, for me, this is pretty experimental.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd never tried acupuncture, and I posted on Facebook looking for recommendations, and just in case I wanted to try it, but my chiropractor does it, so I'm like, well, what the hell? I'm here.
Yeah, I didn't understand that it was done at your chiropractor's.
Yeah.
I thought he just referred
I was
you
literally
to
sitting in a chair.
Really?
Sitting in a chair, and they had a pad to keep your arm rested and upright in the position they want. And literally, I got just to sit there.
Huh. Wow. Okay,
so, it was not a bad experience.
No.
And it must have, like I said, it did a little something, I think. We'll see. I'm willing to give it a test run. Like, at this point, I'm willing to give anything a test run. They even have a laser therapy that I'm looking at.
Oh. What does that do?
It's, again, supposed to help stimulate nerves.
Okay. So is it like heating an area, or is it
I don't know exactly. I've seen it in use, and it's like a red light being shined on an area. Okay. Pretty powerful red light.
Yeah.
It looks like, it's hard to explain. Like somebody has a flashlight on you.
Okay, yeah.
And it looks like that, and people are sitting there, laying there, getting this laser treatment on whatever area. I have no idea if it does anything, but I'm considering trying it since, hey, benefits.
Bizarre. Yeah, no doubt. I've never heard of that. I've not even in, that sounds familiar. Like, you brought up cupping before you left. I don't know. I'm suddenly calling back 10 episodes or something. But you said something about going in for cupping, and I've heard of that. I roughly know what that is. But I've never heard of this laser thing, I don't think.
No, it's, these guys do a lot of therapy stuff. And, seem to know what the hell they're doing. I've been pretty happy.
Okay.
Like I said, chiropractically they're fantastic. And I was just like, well, he was like, the one chiropractor I talked to, he's like, yeah, I've been doing acupuncture for 25 years.
Okay, wow.
And he's like, it could help you.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, 25 years, that's a good track record behind him. And second of all, he would have gone through a lot of the developments in it during that time, too, I got a feeling, as it became more and more and more and more mainstream.
And he really explained it to me well.
Okay. That's good, too.
And, that's an important thing for me.
Yeah.
The first question out of my mouth was essentially, how does it work? And he finished the sentence. Knowing exactly what I was going to say.
Awesome.
And he just explained how what the needle does is goes in there right to where the nerve is. So not to a blood vessel or anything like that. Just under the skin.
I can't imagine how you learn to do that. What's the word dependably. Everybody's different. Do you know what I mean? So you might have more fat in an area of your skin, or you might have more muscle, or a scar that I don't have, or you know what I mean? It seems strange that it'd be so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool.
But everything, like it said, it didn't hurt, it hasn't done any damage.
Yeah.
The first session. And possibly helped numb a little bit of pain on the outside of my thumb on touching it.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a huge bonus.
Of course.
Where it's not tingly and going, oh my God, this hurts. So far so good. I will update it as I do more.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? Okay, you're going back for more acupuncture?
Yeah, tomorrow, I think.
Okay. Cool.
And tomorrow's a busy day for us, as tomorrow my wife goes in for the interview to become a 911 operator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a big one. She's been working and studying on this, and I've been helping her a little bit for the last couple of days. That's another thing I've noticed from the surgeries.
What's that?
My emotions are far greater. Like I used to be able to, or I used to have very limited emotions.
Yeah.
Almost Vulcan-esque, right?
Okay, yeah.
I've noticed I've had moments where my emotions will get to me, which is really unusual.
Okay.
Really unusual
Yeah.
for me.
Okay. Especially when you're not used to it, I think.
Yeah. No, there were a couple of times I was thinking about stuff and I was in tears.
Wow.
In the hospital.
Well, mm-hmm.
And that doesn't happen. So yeah, it's wild. You were about
I don't want
to
to say that I have any. I don't think I have any real caliber of. I don't have the right to say what's normal and what's not. But I think a lot of people, you had mentioned that after the seizure and stuff like that, you didn't really have background thoughts in your mind and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I think background thoughts contribute a bit to that.
Well, yeah,
because you're able to sit
explain
and think about
explain what you're. I'll explain that. So you know how you have that voice in your head where you're talking to yourself, or you have a song going through your mind. After the first seizure, that was gone, and that was creepy. Yeah. Like, your mind feels so empty. Now, I've gotten that back.
You told me about that, and I just thought, wow.
It's creepy.
Which is awesome. I think that's really, yeah.
Like it's really creepy, because you're thinking, like, I used to talk to myself, or, I'd have and then one day, it's funny, when it came back, Disturbed, The Sound of Silence, was going through my head. Yeah. And it was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And I was able to, have a conversation with myself. And
I was going to say, so deeply poetic, the song that came back.
Yeah,
to you
no
as
kidding.
Well. That's just so like it would have been okay if that wasn't the first thing you thought, but they definitely would have made it that when they created the Lifetime movie about you. But it's phenomenal that that's truly the first song you heard when you're like,
it's very fitting.
No doubt, just
because
crazy. So.
And that feeling adds to the loneliness. Because there's nothing there.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And I don't think I could truly explain it.
You mean
because
beforehand?
There's just no. Well, even then and during, and like when everything started clicking back, when I started, seeing the handy buses and stuff like that, and everything started kind of clicking back into place. I think experiences are helping me. Get things back in place. And like I said, I'm getting some long-term memories back, so that might have been the AVM.
Yeah.
Because I was born with it.
Yeah,
so that might have been the...
Saying that, do you want to talk more about what you've learned about AVMs in the meantime?
It's pretty simple. It's just blood vessels get tangled up in the brain. And at some point, it has the potential to bleed. I guess it was something like 3 to 4% every year. And when that happens, you have a seizure.
Mm-hmm. Now you said
that's a good thing.
Yeah, you said you had it. You're born with it. Now, are you born with it? Actually,
1 in a million.
Are you actually born with a cluster of veins, or are you born with the potential to form it? Do you know what I mean?
It sounds like it's something you're born with.
Okay.
And every year you have a 3 to 4% chance.
Dear God.
Yep, of something bad happening with it. Mm-hmm. And
so
I'm in my mid-40s now. So really there was about 120% if you just kind of add 3% every year. I was due.
Looking at it that way, yeah.
And there's no way to find it until it happens.
Wow.
Because you need to go through an MRI. They've got to run this stuff through your brain so they can look at everything that's going on in your brain.
Mm-hmm. So in that theory, then, that there's a 3 to 4% chance every year, that ultimately means that there's also a small chance of making it through your whole life with one and with no incident.
And never have a problem with it.
Okay.
It's just every year you rolled the dice.
Wow. I wondered at first when we talked about it a little bit, I thought it was something that formed at random in men and occurred between 37, occurred in your late 30s, early 40s.
No.
That's what I thought it was. Okay.
You're born with it. It's something like 1 in 10 million or something like that.
Oh, right. Wow.
So I won the lottery on that one.
Yeah. Well, congrats,
And then with the surgery, like we talked about the risks of that surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 1 in 12 don't make it out.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I rolled the skull. Having the stroke in there. I damn near died. I mean, they were pumping oxygen through me. They were pumping drugs through me to get the blood pressure going. Like, I was in serious trouble. Mm-hmm. And I was able to pull through it. But, So something bad did happen during that surgery, but I survived it.
Yeah. It was 17 hours of surgery, right?
Yeah, that's what Debbie was saying. 17 hours because of all that.
Dear God. Ooh, yay!
No, seriously. Obviously, I had been off the grid and not really looking at any data or analytics. But there has been growth to the Total Stick Show. Mm-hmm. And the Total Stick Empire.
Yep. I took some time to thank people last episode, too. We had a beautiful September. I was very happy to see everybody come out in September. So, yeah. Freaking A.
And a couple of really good guests.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really tempted to take him up on that gold mining offer.
Oh, okay.
To go.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm really tempted to take him up on that. Maybe make a weekend trip out of it.
Okay. Well, there you go. Maybe we'll have to have him on. I know he really enjoyed doing the show. We're talking about Ryan Blair. He was on a few episodes ago. I was scroll through and find them.
I really enjoyed Ryan. I thought he was very entertaining. I loved the idea. I had no idea that was still a thing.
I know, me neither. Thank you. I didn't. You. Every time I say something, you're just like, yeah, whatever. You don't get it. But yeah, no, yes, freaking A, right? I didn't know it was a thing either. I thought you might know that was a thing. Yes, no, I didn't.
No, I didn't think that was still a thing.
Me neither.
I'm fascinated by it. I don't want to do it, but I'd like to. I would love to kind of go and see how it works once.
Yeah, love to witness it in action, no doubt.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Maybe bring a camcorder and. Yeah. Have like a vlog.
Yeah, no doubt. And I was gonna say he really enjoyed doing the show, so maybe we can have him on with and while you're here, and we can all be here. You see what I'm saying?
And I thought Heather was fantastic.
Yep, indeed.
I actually really enjoyed your guys' interview with Heather.
Okay, awesome. Well, glad to hear that.
I was very impressed with your guys' work on that one.
And you and I haven't spoken a great deal off the air, so I don't think you really have any idea what's coming up. But we have other guests coming up too. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
I'm looking forward to it. I've really enjoyed the interviews. I enjoyed what we did with Dan, Dan Alatorre. I really enjoyed the interview with him, and I was glad we could be part of his contest.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm glad we were able to give Heather, it's Kint, isn't it?
Yes.
Give her a little exposure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, me too. Yeah, so, and
anytime, hey, if Heather ever wanted to come on again, I'd be happy to have her.
Of course, yeah. I actually have her. This is another weird thing I'm saying on the show that I haven't said to her. I have your book, Heather. I have her book here too. I'm in the process
nice.
of reading a book by another forthcoming guest who has been named on the show, so I can say that out loud. Jessica Lucci. I'm in the process of reading her book, and then I also have Heather's book here, Ruby Slips, as well. So.
Oh, that's awesome, and I'm glad they're having some success.
Definitely. So as usual, we ran about half an hour of us talking about our housekeeping at the end of the show. So yeah, yay! But yeah, so there's some stuff that's coming up.
That was informative, and there's I'm even confused as to what's coming up with a lot of these things.
Yeah, I bet because I try to inform you first, but no.
Well, but because I've been out of the loop.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I've been out of consciousness for half of the past 3 months.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, it's awesome that you're back, and I think our listeners will be happy that you're back too. And obviously this goes up Friday morning. We're recording a day earlier than normal. We're actually recording on Wednesday.
Yeah, I was just with my wife's interview and a bunch of stuff going on. This was the best day for me to record, and Paul was happy to accommodate.
Indeed, indeed. Not quite at the time you want it, but we made it work.
Hey, we made it work, and we had a little fun again.
Yeah.
And actually, we told a couple good stories, and I'm looking forward to the future now.
Me too.
I really am. I'm damn curious what you got in mind. I really am. We need to get together for a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should get you, me, and Terry together. We go for a coffee. We put out the portable recording devices, and just have a behind the scenes episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where we talk, where we just record the stuff and put it up there as a bonus episode.
Well, I think eventually we'll definitely have an episode with all of us in one place, and et cetera, et cetera. That's a kind of a bonus like that. That's a big deal, because we're all in the same room, because we're never all in the same room. So, so that stuff. So, yeah, so definitely that'll happen. So make sure you get on to all of those wonderful places where you can find us everywhere great podcasts are sold. Make sure you go ahead and review us, rate us, tell your friends about us, goddammit, email us, talk to us, interact with us, love us.
Like I said, you're welcome to hit me up on Twitter anytime. You're welcome to hit us up on Facebook.
Yeah.
We'll respond. If you got questions or you got stuff we want to talk about, hey, bring it up.
Definitely. We still have, if you go on Facebook, at Total Stick Show, there's survey pins to the top of that page where you can give your input about the show, and we have not promoted that whatsoever, but it's still there.
How did that survey thing go?
Well, it didn't go great because we promoted it very little. We dealt with it that week, and then...
Well, I'm sorry, I was unconscious.
Well, no, I mean we as a larger entity. Like, I haven't, it hasn't come up, I haven't pumped it on Facebook one way or the other. It just hasn't really gotten much love. But yeah, so check that out too, because that's at the top of our Facebook page. And then you can let us know with some pointed questions exactly what you'd like to see on the show. But yeah, so get out there, do all that good stuff. We love you. Thanks for coming out and fucking listening to this thing and continuing to do so. This is now episode 27.
And thanks everybody for the support. A couple of Facebook posts and messages. Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Of course. And yeah, and again, you can find that GoFundMe on the page too. So I think we've talked tons. If there's something you can't find that you need to find that has to do with us, just email me, because I can't imagine what it is right now.
It'll be on Facebook.
Yeah, it'll be on Facebook.
Like we put everything on Facebook for you.
Exactly. Yeah. If you can't find, yeah. If we mention something, go scroll down our Facebook, because you'll probably find it there. So, yeah. So that's it for us. So, yeah. Until next week, this was the Total Stickcast. So, bye!
See, now that was fun. and it was still a shit show. I'm proud of myself. Thank you for joining us on the Total Stickcast. Connect with us online through Twitter and Facebook at Total Stick Show. And you can watch the things we make on YouTube by heading to youtube.com and searching for Total Stick Show. Or you can also find our content on newgrounds.com by going to totalstickshow.newgrounds.com. The Total Stickcast is available on Google Play as well as iTunes, and your reviews will help other people find us and help us grow. please take a moment to let us know what you think. The Total Stickcast is hosted by Paul Johnson and Shane Hoopfer. You can connect with Paul Johnson directly on Twitter at OffTheLP or at everythingpaul.net. That's everythingpaul.net. You can also reach us by email at totalstickshow@gmail.com. This has been the Total Stickcast. Thank you for making us part of your day.